Hello children, in this session I will teach you define article the. We have learned about the a and an article in define article in the earlier videos, earlier sections. Now I will teach you the define article the, okay, where you have to use define article. The articles a and the is very important to forming the sentence. And we should know where we have to use a and the. Now the last session of this article the, I will teach you briefly. Okay, there are 7 rules of the article where we have to use the. There are 7 rules. I will explain you properly with the examples. There are 7 rules. And the 8th rule is about the pronunciation of the or the where we use the pronounce and where you use the. So all those 8 rules I will teach you in these sessions. Okay. So let's see what is the rule. First 2 rules I will explain you. So welcome to Matrushri National School's Matrushri Educare YouTube channel. Okay. So first 2 rules. First rule is that if we already mentioned about the object, we already talked about the object, we should use the for those object, for those noun. Means earlier we are talking about the objects, about the noun, something or someone already mentioned earlier. So we have to use the for the specific noun, define, refer the noun. We should use after that the for those noun. Okay, so let's see what is the first rule. Use the already mentioned someone or something and knows exactly which object, person and talking about, right? Means those object, those noun already mentioned earlier and we knows what we are talking of, which object we are talking about, something, someone, or the person, right? So we have to use the. For example, we will explain you the example. First, I saw a rainbow yesterday. When I taught you the article, so that time I use this sentence because here is 2 sentences. I saw a rainbow yesterday and the rainbow was beautiful. So earlier videos when I taught you a article, so I saw a rainbow yesterday, I use this example. Again I am checking this example to understand properly. I saw a rainbow yesterday means I mentioned, first time I mentioned that I saw a rainbow. So that's why I had to use here a, because I mentioned first time about this object, about this picture, about this things, rainbow. Okay. So the next example, I use the rainbow beautiful. The rainbow is beautiful. The rainbow. I saw a rainbow yesterday. Means I am talking to someone about the something. Okay. So I am talking about rainbow to my friend. I saw a rainbow. So means I mentioned this rainbow the first time when I am talking. After that, I tell my friend that the rainbow is beautiful. Means I tell her that this rainbow is beautiful. The rainbow. Already the rainbow mentioned in earlier sentence. The first sentence already we mentioned the rainbow, right? The first time. So next sentence, the continue the sentence. I again said the rainbow is beautiful. Means I am talking about those objects which I know, which my friend know. Exactly refer the noun. Okay. So rainbow is a noun. So we mentioned first time and here I mentioned second time. Already which mentioned, so I write here the. Okay. Next. He is an optician in London. This sentence also we are taken in the earlier videos when I taught you the article. So he is an optician in London. Means first time I mentioned about the opticians, about the person. Okay, he is an optician London. So in this first sentence, I mentioned about the optician for the first time. So I use here an. Optician is also singular. He is an optician in London. Next, when I am talking continually about the optician, so here the optician examining my eyes. So in this second sentence, we use the before the optician. I know that this optician's word begin with this O vowel. We should use an, but here in this sentence, I am already talk about the opticians. So I specify, I define the noun opticians again. So we have to use the that time. The optician examined my eyes. I am telling to my friend that he is an optician in London, and the optician examined my eyes. So that's why we have to use here, because the optician, this person, right, this noun already we mentioned first time in the earlier sentence. We have to use the. Okay, so next rule. Now the is used for uncountable and plural nouns. So we had learned the last videos for the a and an in defined letters. When I taught you a and an cannot use with uncountable nouns and the plural nouns, but the the article, we can use uncountable nouns with uncountable nouns and with plural nouns. Okay, let's see the examples. The is used for uncountable and plural nouns. Okay, the example is I ate rice yesterday. Okay, so in this sentence, I first mentioned about the noun something or someone when I mentioned first time. Alright, so we have to use a or an. But in this sentence, in this first sentence, we cannot use a or an because rice is uncountable. We can use some. We can use some, or we cannot use anything. There is no problem. If we cannot use anything, any article, a or an, for the when we are mentioned for the first time, so not necessarily we have to use a or an, right? When we mention first time, so we can use some also. I ate rice yesterday. Now I am talking about the rice, and I continue talk about the rice, that the rice was delicious. I ate rice yesterday, and the rice was delicious. Why I write here the in this second sentence? Because in the first sentence I already mentioned the noun rice, uncountable noun, already mentioned here in the first sentence. And second sentence, I am talking about the nouns exactly which I know, which listener know, which reader know, and that's why we have to write here the in the second sentence, right? So already mentioned rice here, so we have to write exactly the noun with the noun the rice was delicious. Okay. Next, I ate cherries yesterday. I ate cherries yesterday in the first sentence. Means that when I talk about the something or someone for the first time, that time we have to use a or an. But in this sentence here is a plural noun. So in this sentence, cherries is the plural noun. Many cherries are there, right? Yes, we are join this cherries. Okay. S here I write cherries, means many cherries. Okay. means the plural. This is the plural now. I ate cherries yesterday. We are not using the first time. We cannot write a or an here. I ate cherries yesterday. Okay. So now we are talking about the cherry. Already we are mentioned the cherry. So in the second sentence, the cherry was tasty. That's why we have to write here the, because already this cherry, this plural noun mentioned first time. Okay. So second time we have to write with this cherry, with this plural noun, the. Okay. The cherries were tasty. You understand the first rule or the. See, again we revise the as the article. It's called define article. We use the article for specific noun or defines the noun. Okay. When the any noun already mentioned earlier, so when we have to use the with this specific noun in the next sentence. Right? So these are the example already I explained. Second rule, the we should use with uncountable noun and plural nouns. Cats, bats, trees, pens, many pens. That time we already use the, but we cannot use a or an. An uncountable noun like milk, water, rice, intelligence, music, art. These are the uncountable nouns. We cannot use a or an, but we can use the for uncountable nouns when we already mentioned earlier. Okay, hope you understand the first two rules which I already explained you with examples. Now, remaining rules I will explain you the next session.